Hey everybody, welcome to Small Scale Life. This is your host Tom. Hey everybody, hi, happy Friday. It's a beautiful day today, and we're starting out here in the back part of Driftless Oaks Farm. You can kind of see the property here, and there's a reason why I'm doing this, and I'll show you why in just a second. Just that. Okay, here we go. So we are back by the blue barn, coming out. There's a chicken coop on the right, camper on the left, house and garage on the left here. And away we go down our 420-foot driveway of fun and excitement. And there is a reason why I'm doing this. Hope your Friday's going well so far. A little wet here in the driveway at the low spot. And coming up here to the driveway, we've got big news. Huge news. That right there. Let's take this off for a second. That right there. You see that? What does that say? Coming soon. Coming soon. So let's get you up to speed on what's going on and what we're doing and why. So yes, we are selling Driftless Oaks Farm, our little farm here in western Wisconsin. It's big news. It's a big decision. And, when you go out looking at properties and you're looking at things and you're like, where am I going to plant my flag? Where am I going to put those roots seriously deep? Where are we going to be for the rest of our lives? We thought this was it. We really did. We were super excited almost 2 years ago now. Super excited. We thought we had the spot. We thought we would be doing all the things, growing all the things, maybe have some chickens. Jules mentioned goats at one time. I mean, there was a lot of ideas. We even thought about totally rebranding and becoming the farm flower and garden show. And we actually opened up a business, Driftless Oaks Farm and Driftless Oaks Flower Company. And we were going to be go all in on that stuff. And none of it happened. None of it happened according to plan. Yeah, we just decided that wasn't the path. Just things, the universe takes us in different directions sometimes. 2022 was a really hard year. We were going to go all in on all that stuff, especially the flower farm and doing weddings and maybe building out that blue barn, have gatherings. There was so much on the plate, so many things planned. We had Greta, the puppy. We got her in January. And then just 2022 just fell apart. And we had Ryan in the hospital for 4 days. We almost lost him. September, we lost Danny, our oldest son, across the bridge. And these things, and Greta, we had to rehome her. It was too much. It was too much. And, trying to figure out what to do with the house, it was like every road was blocked. And we just kind of were like, we do a lot of thinking. What are we doing and why are we doing this? Is this working for us? And the answer was no, it's not. I just turned 50 in January. And you start to think about getting older. And what do you want for the remaining time on this spinning little globe? What do you want to do? Do you want to work on a farm and, have that your identity and that's who you are and that's what you're doing? And cutting wood. I mean, I've got 100 years worth of wood on the ground in the woods, and I could just cut wood forever. Maybe sell that and sell comfrey and, grow some veggies and all that is good. All that is great. And people should do that. But you start to think about, what am I doing? And is it working for me? And the answer is no. Nope. No. Especially as we get older, knees don't work so well. You start to shuffle a little bit. We have one small little bedroom on the main floor. And we stay upstairs right now. Ryan has the main floor room. It's an old farmhouse, right? So it's got some wicked stairs. We would have to move downstairs, and we want main floor living for the future. That's what we want. Ranch style house, not multi-level, not split level, not two-story, but a ranch style house. That's what we wanted. And you put all these things together, and what we really like to do, what we really want to do, is we want to have the time to spend with family, with friends, build a community, do some gardening. I love the garden. I've talked to so many homesteaders lately that are not doing what they love, or just so bogged down with other projects they don't garden anymore. They haven't gardened in years. Others are leaving completely. I know one person down in Tennessee, she decided to move home, and another one, or not move home, but move back to Wisconsin. So she left Tennessee, sold her place. I know another person down in Oklahoma. She is leaving. They're getting ready to sell their homestead, and they're about the same price we are, and they're getting out of it. You look at Brian Oleskovich from the Lots Project. Brian and Corey, they are on the road. They sold their homestead up near Mille Lacs, and they are on the road, and that's what they do. That's how they live. They're living the life they want to. You look at my friend Jason Gray and all their family. A couple of years ago, they sold their farm in Colorado, and they are now working for the National Park Service, and they travel around to different parks. So we make ideas. We have these ideas. The point is, we have these ideas about what we think we want to do, and we get all the hype from other podcasters and people and talking heads and other people doing it that talk about all the cool stuff. They don't talk about the hard stuff, right? And they don't talk about the other intangibles, the other things that you want to do with your life. And the hard stuff, getting up and plowing that driveway, 420 feet of fun. And a truck that may or may not work, the four-wheel drive may or may not work, and you get it stuck 7 times in the little itty-bitty hill by the Blue Barn. Or you bend your snowplow, bend the shank, and then you got to get that all fixed, and then you got to get your four-wheel drive fixed. You do all that, and then your truck completely dies. Just dies. The engine is dead. That happened. Or just weird stuff happens. Just all houses need maintenance. All properties need maintenance. And how much are you going to put into a 1900s farmhouse? How much are you going to do that? What are you going to spend your time on? Can you make that old farmhouse into what you want to suit your needs? And the answer we found was nope, not. It cost a hell of a lot of money, and then you're talking about building new. And what do you build? A barn dominium? Well, you could with the Blue Barn, but you'd have to pretty much tear it down and then rebuild it, because it was built for ag purposes, and ag purposes are different than residential purposes. Truss spacings, pole spacings, all that stuff. And then you look at rolling in a manufactured home. You still have to build a full basement, at least the company we talked to. I know there's others that you can build a crawl space and all that stuff, but we would want a full basement. Just it gives you. We've learned. We were all high on the supply about barn dominiums and slab on grade homes, but we've learned that having that extra space in the basement, and while we're minimalists, having that extra space in the basement to work on mechanicals, to have a mechanical room, to have extra bedrooms or a bathroom, that's golden. That really makes your property shine. And yes, you can do the slab on grade, and they work great. Sure, absolutely. But we've got things we want to do. We've got ideas, and we do things. So we need a little extra space. That's just the way it is. So yeah, a lot of decisions, a lot of thoughts. This has been a decision in the making, all in 2022. I know Jules was there before I was, and we'll get her on the podcast to let her talk about her thought process. Really, I started thinking about it hot and heavy after September. And around December, when we were down in Texas, I made the call to my realtor, to our realtor friend. Great gal, Sarah. She is awesome. We love her. She helped us buy and sell Eagles Ridge, buy and now sell this property. And we just said, it's time. We got to go. And so it's been a process of, we had her out. She looked at some things. We had a punch list of things we wanted to get done. She added to that. And then and then we got at it. We got after it. I laughed because a couple of things, it was like, no, we're not going to do that. And then I got overruled. And yes, we did do that. So one of the things was the kitchen floor. And that was a project that was freaking me out because I've never done anything with tile. I mean, seriously, never did anything with tile. That includes tearing up the underlayment, getting it all prepped. Fortunately, we've got good friends. We've got friends that do that kind of thing. And Will, our friend, did a great job with the floor. That was kind of it actually delayed us from getting out on the market because we decided to do that project, but it turned out really well, and I'm glad we spent the money to do it. The other project, the big one, was soffit and fascia. The property needed new soffit and fascia on the house. It needed it on the garage, and the landing needed a little repair too. So our friends Tim and Bert, they came over and we hired them and they got her done, and it really looked good. It looks great, and it just it cleans everything up, seals off the house. I mean, just awesome. So we've done a lot of painting, we've done a lot of cleaning, did some fixing, did a lot of cleanup, and we're ready. So on Thursday this week, 4/19, we actually 4/18. Let me back up even more of that. So right before we went on vacation down in Florida, we had a dumpster brought in, and we did a lot of clean out. We did a minimalism thing. It's time to get rid of stuff, and it just feels so good to get rid of stuff, and and begin that process. And I'll be talking a lot more about that in the future. But it felt really good to do that, and we had the dumpster. I made the call on Monday. We rolled it out, got it out of here, and then the next day was the same day. It was the 19th. Sorry, I'm getting a little scattered here. So the 19th, no, the 18th, we had pictures. So we had the photographer out, and he took drone shots. He came out and did all the pictures. And while they were doing the interior, the roll-on, roll-off truck came in, picked up that dumpster, and got it out of there. So all of our pictures don't have the dumpster in it, which is amazing. I mean, the timing is just amazing. And then we went as a coming soon listing on the 19th, and we suddenly were getting showings. So we've got 5 showings booked, and this is the second day now. So I'm expecting some more showings to pop up. I mean, the amazing thing is we are the only property in Pierce County that I see right now. We're the only 10-acre property that's $300,000. It's amazing to me. And so I'm expecting it to go and to get a lot of interest, just because there's no property like it. There's no hobby farms out there that someone could actually afford. I mean, you see anything with a newer house and some land, it's in the high 3s or 4s. It's amazing how the market is just exploded. So that's the deal. We are selling Driftless Oaks Farm. We're going to be moving a little closer to either Red Wing, River Falls, maybe Hudson, Cannon Falls, somewhere down in this area. We really love it out here. I mean, the beautiful thing about Driftless Oaks Farm is it got us out here. We're going to close the Driftless Oaks Farm chapter. We're going to open up a new one. We're going to, I talked about a month ago on the Small Scale Life podcast about tipping points, these major events that change your life, tipping points, and getting back to basics. So we're getting back to basics, and what those basics are for us: minimalism, gardening, just having a small scale life. And our motto is less is more. I mean, we upscaled our life, and we got 10 acres, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And there's an eagle. So where am I right now? I'm right in front of the Laura Ingalls Wilder homestead right here. This is a replica of her house, and there is an eagle flying. Excuse me, flying over the house in the distance. It's very symbolic, just very symbolic. I mean, if you listen to the Small Scale Life podcast for a while, you know that Laura Ingalls Wilder really started the journey back in 2009, 2008. That was my tipping point, is the crash of 2008 and the housing crisis and all the problems that happened with the economy, with my job, everything. And that was where I started thinking about being more self-reliant, me being more resilient, starting to garden, starting to can, doing all that stuff. And we've drifted so far away from that in the farm right now. We have. I mean, I canned a little bit last year, but basically since we moved from the farm, from our North Minneapolis house, I haven't done any of that stuff. I just haven't. I haven't had a garden since 2020. It's hard to do a garden blog or garden stuff when you don't have a garden, right? And I know you can grow in anything as long as you have light, water, and nutrients. And I did do seedlings last year. I did do some tomatoes and stuff last year, but it was really a half-hearted effort because we had so many other things happening, and we were concentrated on so many other things that it didn't work the way I intended and I wanted. So it's time to get back to basics. What do you really love? What brings you joy? What's going to make you shine? Folks, I have to tell you, the homesteading thing ain't it for me. I mean, it is on a smaller piece of property, gardening, being more self-reliant, but having a big piece of land it's a little overwhelming right now. And we'd like to do some other things. We'd like to have some other adventures. So coming here to the Laura Ingalls Wilder homestead was kind of symbolic on my part. I wanted to do that because it's kind of closing a chapter. I'm not Pa Ingalls. Julie's not Ma Ingalls. We're very far from that. I like to garden. I like to can. I like to have less is more. I like to go kayaking. I like my little adventures. I'm a professional wanderer, and I love it. And that's what I'm going to do. There's things that we do very well, and we can work with a lot of properties. We can clean a lot of stuff up, but I'm not going to have sheep. I'm not going to have goats. I'm not going to have horses. I'm not going to have cows. Hell, folks, I'm not even going to have chickens. And right now, I can't even see myself having bees. I don't know. I mean, homesteading is a pretty wide open subject. You can do a lot of different things. And you can, and my friend Harold Thornborough from Modern Homesteading Podcast, he talked about homesteading where you are, and you don't need a 10-acre piece of land, and that's true, and that is very true. I've grown vegetables on asphalt before. Jules and I were having this discussion last night about, are you worried about a 1/4-acre piece of property? And I'm like, no. I mean, Sure, I'd love a little more space because we got more shit. We got more stuff. We got more shit. I mean, I have an ATV. Where am I going to put that? I have a boat trailer, and I have a regular trailer, and we're going to have 4 vehicles. Where are we going to put all that stuff? We'll figure it out. But I have grown vegetables on asphalt before. I've done it on a postage stamp piece of property. We can make a 1/4 acre work. We can make a 1/3 of an acre work. And I think, we'll see where the river takes us. We'll see where the universe brings us. Maybe we'll have a 5-acre piece of property, maybe a 2-acre piece of property that we can have recreation on and have a little shed with some stuff. Maybe we'll buy a house and it'll have a shed. Maybe we'll put a shed in. These are things that you can overcome. We've done this before. We are not in new and uncharted territory. But the reality is, I'm not Pa Ingalls. Jules not Ma Ingalls. We're not these people. This way of life, people are doing it and they're killing it. But right now, I think it would kill us. So we'll let others do it. And the beautiful thing is, I love those people, and I love talking with them. I love the idea of it. I love our friends over here at Good Turn Farm to my left, to the screen's left. They're doing a market garden over here, and they're on part of this historic property. Part of the Ingalls homestead is on their property, and we love their produce. We love buying from them and supporting them, and a lot of locals do. A lot of the locals buy here, and a lot of the local restaurants buy here too, and they do a great job. And let's help them. I do other things really well. Why not do those and concentrate on those? I don't have to do all the things, and neither do you. And that's the real reality. You don't have to do all the things. You can let some other folks do some stuff and pay them for it, and pay them well, and thank them for it, and have gratitude and appreciation. But you don't have to do it all yourself. That's what community is all about. That's what we want to build too. And we're not doing it out here. It's too remote. Got to be closer to a little town. We don't want to go back to the Twin Cities, but we do want to be closer to a little town. So, Ma and Pa Ingalls, I salute you. You have gotten me on the path. But our paths are diverging a little bit, and we're going to go our own way. And what does small scale life look like in the future? What is it? Well, we'll do more of what we do, but we might see changes. I don't know. We'll see. There's to have a truly small scale life, I think it's different for everyone, but for us, less is more. Minimalism. Being smart, making smart moves. Do I have regrets? Nah. We learned each time. We learn with everything. But I did tell Jules, once we plant the flag, I'm not moving for a long time. I don't know, folks. This move it's a little harder than the other ones. So we just want to plant the flag and keep learning, doing, and growing, and being a little better every day. This moving thing is just so chaotic. It's time to stop rolling, have that home base, and wander at other times. You know what I mean? So, okay, everybody, this is Tom from Small Scale Life. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. Big changes here at Small Scale Life, and that's okay. Sorry I was a little discombobulated. I've wandered a little bit in this conversation, but this is important stuff. And, for your own life, I hope you this is why I've been talking about asking the hard questions and doing that deep thinking and thinking about what you want to do and who you want to be and who you want. We might have a day, 10 days, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 50 years. Who knows how long we're on this planet, but what are you going to do with that time? How are you going to live your life? Who do you want to be? I don't want to be Pa Ingalls. I'm going to be somebody else. I'm going to be Tom. That's what my good friend Amy Dingman told me once on A Farmer's Kind of Life. We were having a chat. She said, why don't you just be Tom? Who's Tom? It's a great question. That is the right question. So, happy Friday, everybody. Big change in small scale life. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. I know I keep doing that, but I am truly going to go now. So, take care, everybody. We'll talk to you real soon.